Christophe Clugston here for Clugston Combat Systems. FluentFighting.com is the website. It's another time for an episode of Ask the Expert, where you get to ask me, counter-violence, zero-distance warfare, subject matter military expert, a question. And one of the questions that I've gotten a lot of times is from the United States, and this definitely shows the mindset of just the United States, and that's why I wanted to tackle this, is because a lot of people are very guilty of thinking that their mindset is the only mindset, and it's actually far from the truth. So the question is, why even why even learn martial arts? I of course don't like that term, because martial arts to me means the Karate Kid and a 7-year-old black belt in Taekwondo in a strip mall somewhere in the United States. But just using that term, why learn to try to defend yourself when you can just have a gun? This is so typical United States mentality. I have a 45, I have a 38, I have a Glock, I have a 9. I'm just going to use that on your ass. Try that. Try to outrun my 45 bullet. I just read a message like that just earlier today, actually. And here's the sad reality, okay? Number one, yes, sports, martial arts are not what you need for violence. What you're going to counter, no one's going to BJJ you in the street. You're not going to end up on the ground. That's death. I'll give out that free information again. Again, horizontal grappling is death in war situations. In mob scenes, it's death. You're going to die if you try to do that. That's just how it is. No Viking was ever trying to do a 20-step omoplata, okay? And there's a reason why. So, you need to learn the right things, the right type of fighting. Counter violence is really what you need to learn. This is what we specialize in. Self-protection. So those people who say, forget it, I'll just get a gun. All right. Realities for you US only people who want to think a gun is the panacea. All you have to say is mention a gun. Do you have a gun on you right now? Are you in the shower with a gun? Are you traveling to a school with a gun? Are you going to the library with a gun? Do you have a gun when you're going to get on an airplane? If you take a trip, a vacation to anywhere, I know most of the people in the United States don't travel. It's at the lowest passport issuance of any first world country. So I know you want to live in your own little place, you never want to leave your home, but for those people who aren't so scared and want to travel, can you take a gun? No. Alright, those of you who have a gun, where is it? Is it at home? Is it safe? You mean you have it in a safe? You have it locked up? How are you going to get to it? If you get rushed in a mob violence scene, which is happening all over the United States, or someone runs at you with a knife, how are you going to get the gun? Alright, serious questions here. How are you going to get the gun? Do you have it? Do you have it out? Have you practiced it? Okay, this leads me into how many gun courses have you taken? Handgun combat courses. There are quite a few people in this business in the United States. There are a large number of people who take the courses, but the majority of gun owners do not. They don't shoot their guns, they don't practice with it, they've never done it under stress, they don't take combat handgunning courses, they don't go to people with operational experience. When I lived in the United States before, I used to work with people in firearms in the military and also with civilians. Now that I'm in Southeast Asia, I've only worked with military. I don't work with civilians with guns. Just hasn't had the opportunity. So I have to deal with transition skills for people. How do you survive? Now this is very serious questions for you people who say, what about just get a gun, forget the fighting? You're not going to get a gun. If you've never fired a gun under stress, when you're scared, when things are happening, chaos is chaotic around you, you're not going to be able to. This is one of the biggest United States myths that's just bullshit. And in the world, most homicides are committed with bladed weapons, followed by blunt weapons such as sticks, crowbars, 2x4s, limbs, whatever they can find. Those things are in the environment. Blades are very easy to find also. People have been using them for a long time. It doesn't take skill to run up on someone and stab them. And just in passing, I want to say the Filipino martial arts, or the silat idea of two people dueling with blades, is not going to happen. Show me 5 recorded, documented, verified instances of dueling going on in the United States, North America. Show me. South America, it happens with machetes, it happens. But in the United States and Europe, Canada, and Southeast Asia, there aren't duels with blades. There's one person pulling a blade out and basically ambushing you. And if you have not trained for that, if you're not trained to handle someone pulling a blade on you and rushing up on you, usually, and I'll tell you statistics, it's within 10 feet, within 2 meters. Within 2 meters, 10 feet is when the blade comes out and they rush you. If you are not ready for that, if you have not been trained for that, you are going to get stabbed. And stabbed is far worse than getting slashed. You're going to get stabbed, and you're going to get stabbed repeatedly. And most attacks last 10 seconds. If they last over 10 seconds, you're going to die guaranteed. Those are statistics. You can come to us if you want more information on it, if you want to learn how to counter being ambushed with a knife, the mindset, the training, we have it. Thinking you're going to have a gun, you're not going to pull a gun out. The best scenario is with a person who has a gun in the holster, who knows he's going to be attacked. In 21 feet, after 21 feet, he can get the gun out of the holster and make a shot, if he's practiced. Now, if you have a concealed down in a pocket or something, or on the inside the waistband or underneath the shirt or something, you need 65 feet to pull this off. These are the tests that have been done for many years. So you're going to tell me, with your bullshit U.S. mindset of ethnocentric, we're superior to everyone, I just get a gun. Have you done that? What's your operational experience? Because if you don't have any, then you're not talking from veracity. You're talking from wishing and theory, okay? So why learn fighting? Because you're going to deal with the person. If they're ambushing you, if you're being trying to be abducted, kidnapped, robbed, you're there. You're there right then. Are you going to be, if you don't have a gun with you, if you haven't practiced with a gun, if you haven't been under stress with a gun, and you can't travel everywhere with a gun, and you know that as a fact, and you don't carry a gun all the time, very few people do. There are some states in the United States, and people, oh, that's why I live here and there. It means you're a coward. It means you're a coward who won't leave where they're at because you're so scared that you don't have the skill set to deal. So if you want that skill set, yes, you had better learn how to fight. And fight in this case means self-protection, which is very different than what you're looking at in MMA, UFC, kickboxing, boxing. That is not what I am talking about. So for more information on that, you go to fluentfighting.com, and also the number 2, counterviolence.com. That's for the people who are very serious about it. Now, those of you who do have guns, who have trained with guns, you need to get the other skill of transition to get to your weapon when you don't have it out immediately, or how to fight off 2 or 3 people so that you can use your weapon and escape. All right? This is about survival. So to answer this question, what do I think about the people who say just get a gun? I think that they're narrow-minded, haven't dealt with real violence, and are living in a fantasy world and have not done any sort of operational experience. What is your operational experience? Which is going to lead me into one of my series on how to ascertain if you have a legitimate, let's emphasize it, a legitimate trainer, instructor for counter-violence and for survival. And not talking about sport fighting. You can go a lot of places to learn boxing. You go to the YMCA to learn boxing. You take Taekwondo. That is not going to keep you alive in the situations we're talking about here. You've seen violence rise. You've seen more attacks with cars, vehicles being used as battering rams. You've seen more people get stabbed, hacked with machetes. This is easy to pull off in a crowd. Easily concealed weapons, and people don't have answers for it. If you want those, and you want to find out who the legitimate instructors are in this field, a very small field now. I'll be doing a series on that in the future. But anyway, so that answer to my question is those people who say just get a gun, they've never done it. They haven't done it. And so like, share, train, all right, and become. That's the key here. Become better than you are. Like this video, share it to other people. Keep the controversy going, because I know a lot of people are going to start spewing hatred. And get this out, because more people need this life-saving, truthful information to them. If you have a gun, take yourself to combat gun classes. Operate under stress. Shoot every week. If you're not shooting every week, you're not ready. If you're not taking courses that put you under stress, you are not ready. So my answer is, you're not ready. The person who thinks just get a gun, they will not answer that question that way. So I think it's a cop-out. I think that those people have never been in situations where they've had to do it. They're going to lie about it. So there you have it. Christophe Clugston, Clugston Combat Systems, fluidfighting.com, your expert for counter-violence and zero-distance warfare.